I think is often lost in these conversations is we keep talking about these people, you know, whether it be the private side people like the Musks and the Bigelows, and then, you know, on the government side, we're talking about whatever that unnamed organization is, but they're all a part of these other organizations. It's always America-centric, right? So...
Well, there is a reason for that.
Why?
It is believed by some people, and there's a certain amount of anecdotal evidence to support this, that back when the military and the government were first working on the UFO thing, whether it was a crash that happened in the 40s or whatever, that there was a kind of like a very covert international agreement that there was going to be this group that managed it, and it was, you know, an American-centric group. And that is why you don't see this major disclosure. The Ancient Aliens did an episode about this, where they're basically saying that there's this group that goes and handles this on a worldwide basis, and it's by treaty at the very deepest levels, and that might be true. But the UFO phenomenon is not American-centric.
Right.
The same stuff that's happening in America is happening all over the world, in some places even more.
And that's my issue, because we talk about the power-centric struggle of it in American terms. Now, other places, I have a lot of listeners around the world who, in their own countries, they know more about, you know, this talk there. Like, you talk to Nick Pope as well, which I want to get back to that. He's from Britain. But, you know, it's like... Would the Men in Black just be American? No. Like, to me, no. Would this knowledge not be some sort of, and I say this with an understanding mindset to this. This isn't like taking a shot. I'm saying, would it not be some sort of global governments coming together on agreement, like at the highest levels? Like, oh shit, people can't know about this.
Right.
I would understand that completely. I just feel like we look at it, and again, maybe it's just because I live here and, you know, we're both American, like, so this is the context we talk about it in. But, you know, where's the Elon Musk in Europe? You know, where's the Robert Bigelow in China? They exist, I'm sure, but we still talk about it as if all the answers lie in D.C. or fucking Las Vegas or something.
Well, you know, Americans tend to be like that anyway. Yes. We see the world through, you know, very, very narrow focus, and we don't think internationally, and we think, you know, we're the center of everything. But there is a lot of people out there, that will talk about the fact that this must be by some kind of clandestine international treaty, that the level of secrecy is agreed upon, and the processes for investigating these cases is agreed upon. And it probably does come largely headquartered in America, but this is an organization of people like the Men in Black movie. You know, people think that's a big comedy, but and it is. But
based on truth.
Yeah, it's quite possible that there is a very clandestine organization worldwide that manages this stuff. And that it's out of politics, it's out of international disputes, it's deeper than that, it's beyond that, and it's bigger than that. And there's been a lot of cases made for that being a possibility.
The problem with any of this stuff, not just aliens or organizations that run that secret, but for any type of secret or power, the buck has to stop somewhere, right? Even if we can't see it, it stops somewhere. So you talk about like, a great example, like even some bullshit political example. You have socialists and libertarians, right? And I'm going to generalize here, but like on the purest end of those spectrums, the socialists would want the buck to stop with, in broad terms, the government handling everything. And the libertarians would want the individual handling everything. But if you go that far on the spectrum in either direction, it always ends badly. There's different ways it ends badly, but for different reasons it ends badly. So when you're talking about now like a closely held secret like this, wherever that organization is, all over the world, whoever's in it, whatever, the buck is stopping with them. So they may have made a decision based on things you said previously that I think have validity to it, where you're talking about like presidents aren't even read in on this stuff or can't get to it. Someone is making that decision somewhere, unelected, or a group of people, to not read in like, quote unquote, the most powerful person in the world, and then look at other world leaders of other major countries, the most powerful people in the world. And they're doing it out of some sort of what we hope is
Altruism?
Yes, and the good of humanity, but who the fuck are they to say that?
Well, see, that's the thing. We don't know that, and a lot of people don't believe that.
Yeah.
At some point, whoever was tasked with managing this information got bigger and bigger, more powerful, better funded, with less accountability.
Yeah.
And now it is being, well, people say that we have a shadow government that's running the entire planet and politicians mean nothing. Who's to say, if you just apply that, which is common understanding, to the people managing the UFO information, it's not a stretch to think that there's this group that's pretty much accountable to nobody running this. Richard Dolan goes even farther, thinking that there's a whole breakaway civilization where these guys have spaceships and all kinds of other stuff, and we don't even know. Is possible. I'm not signing on to that because I can't prove it. I can't find the paper trail, and I've looked for the paper trail about spacefaring submarines and stuff. Can't find anything that really indicates that these things were ever built. But back to the point, there's plenty of examples throughout history of organizations and people that have this autonomy and are able to function without accountability to anybody. And so, if you're the guys that are managing the UFO secret and you're the guys that have that technology and you've been working with industry on a clandestine basis for what's going on 100 years now, you're a pretty powerful group.
I'll say. For sure. And again, there has to be, you can't just dislike a couple things that some of these organizations do and then be like, well, that means the whole thing has to go. Unfortunately, the world is, as we said multiple times, not very complex. So there's gonna be negative with whoever is in charge of situations like this, as far as closely guarded secrets. It just, that's the reality of it. That is what it is. Thank you for watching the video, guys. Please hit that subscribe button and check out this clip's full podcast episode by clicking here or in the description below.